me a sec.
Yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 la 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 la 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 la 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yay lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 la 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yalla lay 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 lay, yedid nefesh avar rachaman משוכב לך ברצונך ירוץ עבדך כמו אייל ישתחווה אל מול עדייך ירב לו ידידותך מנוף עצוב בכל טעם יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 לה 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 לה 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 לה 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 לי
Page 131, Ya'alol Sadai v'chol asher bo, 4 lines from the bottom of the words. Then all the trees of the forest shall shout for joy. at the presence of the Eternal One. For God is coming.
יעלו שדי בכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יעלו שדי בכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יזירננו כל עצי יזירננו כל עצי יער, אז ירננו, כל עצי יער, אז ירננו, כל עצי יער, יעלו שדי, בכל אשר בו יעלו שדי, איי 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 איי, יעלו שדי, בכל אשר בו יעלו שדי, איי 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 איי, אז ירננו, כל עצי יער, 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 יעלו שדי, בכל אשר בו יעלו שדי, איי 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 יעלו שדי בכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 איי.
On page 137, Adonai oz la'amo yitenu, Adonai yavarech et amo b'shalom. The last two lines on the page. May God grant strength to our people. May God grant our people the gift of peace.
Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo.
From these beautiful songs of Kabbalat Shabbat, these songs and psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat, it is my pleasure to welcome you all into our sanctuary. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, wherever they find us, we are surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into the sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place, or indeed this space, in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within the human heart, the harshness of the weak, let these things drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let us find ourselves. Let it settle upon us, and let us lift our hearts together in song and in celebration. We move forward to page 138 and continue now with the words of Lecha Dodi.
במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה תומיצי מתוך אף חרב לשבת ומקבח חמול עלי חמלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה התנערי מעפר קומי לבשי בגדך דיברתך מעל יד בני שי בית הלחמי קברי נפשי גאלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי בעורך קומי אורי 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 שידבר כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לא תבושי ולא תקלמי מה תשתוכחי ומטה מבך יחסו אני אאמין נבנתה עיר עתילה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה והיו למשיסה שעושייך ורחקו כל בבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהייך תמצוץ חתן על כלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה ונגילה לכבודי קרקלה בני שבת לקבלה לכבודי קרקלה בני שבת לקבלה בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לכבודי קרקלה בני שבת לקבלה לכבודי קרקלה בני שבת נקבלה.
And having welcomed Shabbat with song and with celebration, it's now our chance to welcome Shabbat with a little bit of ritual and with the kindling of the Shabbat candles. You can see on the screens before you that Ashley's there with her parents in the middle of the screen. Ashley, you're going to be celebrating your bat mitzvah on Monday morning, and so we know that this is a really special Shabbat for you and your family. And for those of you who are looking carefully at the screen, you are right, that is Joanne, who you can see on our bimmer, who's going to be in shul, sharing some messages from our Board of Governance a little later, but right now joining with you, Ashley, in lighting the candle. So if I can invite you to please offer the reading before the kindling.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
Synchronized candle lighting, that's fancy.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik neh shel Shabbat.
Amen, and Shabbat Shalom to you. Ashley, also to Susie and Simon, wish you and your entire family Mazel Tov this Shabbat as you celebrate, as your daughter becomes Bat Mitzvah in the coming week. My friends, let's take a moment to reach out to each other. There are only a few of us in the sanctuary. Well, a few more than were allowed last week, so I'll wave and say Shabbat Shalom to Joanne. Invite you to say Shabbat Shalom to each other in the chat, whether you're joining us on YouTube or on Facebook, or whether you're listening to us through JAir. We are so very grateful to have you all with us. We want you to take a moment to reach out to family, friends, to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom as we continue now with Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, a song, a psalm for this Shabbat day. We're on page 140.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עליך סוב עלינה, וכלה היגיון בחינות.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך הרנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני מאוד, עמקו מחשבותיך. איש ואינו ידע,
השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק אתה אמר יפרח, כארץ בלבנון, בלבנון ישגה, שתו לי בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עודנו בשיבה, דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישע אדוני צורי ולא עוולה תבוא.
On page 142, the angels accompany us in the week. Just as we prepare Shabbat, so too they bless us. May our week be as blessed as our Shabbat. Page 142.
שלום עליכם מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. הקדוש ברוך הוא. הקדוש ברוך הוא.
As we ready ourselves to move from the Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat towards the prayers of the Ma'ariv, the evening service, we rise for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144.
יתגדר ויתקדש מרבה.
אמן.
והמן תברא חירותי, וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון, ובחייתך בית ישראל.
בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב.
ואמרו
ועלמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה
בריחו
לעם מן כל מחטא ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה
ואמרו
אמן.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
We continue with the Ma'ariv Aravim on page 148. Please join me in the Hebrew. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chokhma potech sha'arim, ובפני משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים בשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולה אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור, ומבדיל יום ובין לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים תמיד, ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים, blessed the eternal one, who brings on the evening.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אתה, תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו לשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר חנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית, על כנפי בגדיהם לדרותם, ונתנו הציצית הכנף בתיר תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם,
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your love and justice. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, in our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when nations will be one and at peace. Then we will rejoice as Israel did, singing these words on the shores of the sea. Micha Mocher on page 158.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. ונאמר כי יפדה אדוני את יעקב
Blessed are you, eternal Redeemer of Israel, and we pray, praise God, the Redeemer of all humanity. We turn forward to page 160 in our prayer books, in our Siddurim, as we continue now with our bedtime prayer, our prayer of comfort and consolation, the Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Leshalom, Leshalom.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, ve'amidenu malkeinu lechayim uleshalom, uleshalom. Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, ufos aleinu sukat shlomecha.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu,
Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Eternal One, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will.
Hashkivenu, Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leshalom.
Baruch Ata Adonai, Haporet Sukat Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Amo Yisrael, V'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Eternal One. The shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Page 162, our Song of Shabbat, V'shamru.
V'shamru B'nei Yisrael, V'shamru et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat, La'asot et ha-Shabbat, Ledorotam berit olam. Beini uven bnei Israel, oti leolam, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat leolam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz.
We turn forward now, my friends, to the Amidah. The Amidah, known as also as the Tefillah, is for many the central benedictions of our service. It's the opportunity when we get to not only pray together as a community, but to also pray for ourselves. As is our minhag here at TBI, we will begin the Amidah together before leaving each other in a few moments of silent personal prayer. I introduce the words of the Amidah, these words of tradition, with the powerful reminder that has carried me and many through this difficult period that we've made our way through. A reminder that prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city, but prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Our Amidah begins on page 164.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehiratecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, עליון, גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד ההדר, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחייב מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות ומיתוק מלך, מלך ממיתו חיה ומשמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Continue now with a few moments of silent personal prayer.
Ratzon limrei fi vehegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri v'goali, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
Yiyu leratzon imrei fi v'egyon lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai
been said by people, teachers and scholars far wiser than I, that the only constant in life really is the notion of change. And we, with a sense of relief, I suspect for many, myself included, are experiencing that right now. We're living through a time and a period of change. But yes, next week's going to be different again. And the week after it is going to be different once more. Change is going to be our constant and our reality. And change is not just occurring for us as Victorians, as Australians, as global citizens, as we learn to navigate our way through this COVID pandemic. But change is also happening for a more specific group within our community at this time. And here I speak specifically of those young men and women in our community, in our families, in our friendship circles who today or in the last couple of days have concluded their formal educational instruction, who have finished year 12 classes. Schools have been wrapping up all over Melbourne over the last 10 days for this cohort who have experienced such a different year. Yes, change has been a constant for all of us. But for the class of 2020, change has been all that they've known. And now they head off for a few weeks of preparation before they gather again in large rooms, appropriately distanced, with masks on, I assume, to sit a series of final examinations that are designed to bring together a year of remarkable learning, a year of remarkable challenges. And so as I saw photos coming through my various social media streams today of graduating or concluding students and the celebrations at the various schools that were ending today, I thought, what words of advice could I, or perhaps tradition, have to offer these young people who have had to find a resilience as well as a confidence that perhaps at the start of the year they didn't think was quite possible. Thankfully, I didn't have to think or to look for long for words which I found to be incredibly wise. And I share these with the class of 2020 tonight on this Shabbat service, but also with all of us who are joining together, because I think their wisdom applies to all of us, regardless of what exams we have coming or when we did our exams, perhaps in the past. And those words come straight out of our Sidra, straight out of our parasha, which this week is a parasha which too is all about change. In this case, it is the change of Avram and Sarai from the land and the life that they'd known in Ur, in the midst of the Chaldean mountains, as they set out on a journey, having been called Lech Lecha, go forth. That is our parasha this week. They are being told that they should set out and begin a new stage of their lives. But they aren't just told to Lech Lecha, to go forth. They didn't use Rex Hunt's old adage in his football calling. They weren't told to go forth and multiply. That came elsewhere in Torah. But rather they were told to go forth in a very specific, very intentional way, which I think speaks to all of us who are experiencing change at this time. They are told to go forth in three stages. First, to leave their physical land, Maratzecha, the place where they had grown comfortable, the place where they had perhaps felt most safe, but also the place where they were least likely to take on risk or explore opportunity and challenge. Then they're told to move from their moledecha, from their birthplace, from the culture and the environment in which they were reared, because it was and is significant. We are all influenced by the society around us, by the people who shape and share our lives, but we shouldn't be limited to those things. True opportunity lies in us moving beyond our parentage, beyond our birthrights, and to something perhaps greater. And then, having physically made that move, having intellectually made that move away from where they had been, the third stage is presented to them, where they are told to literally leave their father's house, Beit Avicha, from your parents' home, to go out into the world in which they shall realize and find themselves. For the last 8 months, it's been really scary for our young people to leave their parents' home. And many of them continue to be scared. They don't know what the future will bring, what opportunities the economy or university will have installed for them. They don't even know if it's really genuinely going to be safe. We're only really in the first week here in Melbourne of this new reality. But most of the young people in our community know, just like us, that the time will come where they need to move out of this space, to stand on their own 2 feet, confident in who they are and who they are becoming. In wishing the class of 2020 well, in wishing you all the very best for that which lies ahead, I want to assure you, you don't have to dive into the deep end in one go. You can enter the pool of life through the steps, one toe at a time, one step at a time. In fact, that's what our tradition teaches. First, we leave our birthplace. Then we leave our country. And finally, we leave our parents' home, all in an effort to arrive at someplace new, someplace significant. That land or that place which our tradition teaches, God will show us all in good time. That's my hope for the class of 2020. It's also my hope, please God, for each and every one of us. I want to invite you to turn with me forward to page 586 as we rise now for the Aleinu prayer. We turn our attention to the Aron.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליותר בראשית, דלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם בגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
And so we turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us and ready ourselves to offer the words of Kaddish Yatom as we think of those who have lived and whom we have lost. We turn our thoughts to the Ner Neshama, the memorial candle which burns before us in front of our memorial wall here at the synagogue. And we think of those who we have lost as well as those who our neighbors have lost. We think too of those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing for humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We think first of those whose Shloshim we are observing as a community: Marilyn Goldberg, Estelle Newmark, Simon Riesman, and Don Williams. We also think of those whose Shloshim we are still observing: Isabel Brand, Helen Edwards, Marion Landauer, Yvonne Landauer, Cecilia Lederman, Felicia Lucy, Isa Sandler, Malcolm Siegel, and Pinchas Tidor. We also announce to the TBI community particularly, but to all of those joining us, that next Friday night we will be offering a number of particular remembrances in honor of the life and legacy of, and lessons, I should say, of Pinchas Tidor, a much loved member of our community, as his Shloshim comes to a close. And on this Shabbat, we also think of those whose yortzites we're observing this week: of Joseph Brager, Rebecca Bliss, Samson Brand, Noel Caston, Heidi Davis, Harrod Elkan, David Goodman, Rosa Grossbard, Wallace Harris, Norman Hendler, George Heyman, Irving Kay, Stephen Colliner, Olga Lipman, Edward McKenzie, Louis Moss, Hans Margis, Leah Plotka, Kurt Selby, Alice Sloman, Kenneth Rubin, and Frida Rogers. We think of all of them as we offer the words of Kaddish Yatom. Please join me on page 598. Yitgadal v'yikadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ba'amad divrei chirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayachon v'yamechon v'chidachol Beit Yisrael v'agalav izman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei
Shmei Rabbah mevorach l'olam amaya.
Yiparach v'yishtabah v'yipa'ah v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadav v'yitalei v'yitalal Shmei d'Kodisha
Richu.
Le'elam min kol brichata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the heavens above bring peace to all of us, to all humanity, and to that we say, Amen. Amen. Many of you will have noticed that through our service this evening, we have been blessed with the attendance of Joanne Lowy Irons, one of our vice presidents, and I invite her back up onto the bimah. She's very happy to be back in Shul, to offer some greetings and some words from our Board of Governance.
Shabbat Shalom. What wonderful services to bring in Shabbat Let Lacha. At a basic level, may we all enjoy going outside for a walk. How fortunate are we to be able to connect with each other and enjoy TBI's musical offerings and meaningful prayers. Thanks to Chancellor Loom, Sharon, Ido, and to Rabbi Lazaro. A few announcements before you make your journey to your Shabbat table. Tomorrow we are blessed with the Bar Mitzvah of Adam Nachamtis. The Mincha service begins at 4 p.m. online. On Monday, we are blessed with the Bat Mitzvah of Ashley Jakubowicz. The Shachrit service begins at 10:30 online. And we wish the families of Adam and Ashley Mazel Tov on their special occasion. Congratulations also to Penny and Andrew, Ashley's grandparents, on their 49th wedding anniversary. On Sunday, our longtime member, Mrs. Rita Greiner, celebrates her 100th birthday, and we wish her a very happy birthday and fulfilling year to come. PJV continues with their Sunday afternoon panel discussions via Zoom. The topic this week is Between Fauda, Stiesel and Wonder Woman, a discussion on modern Israel's big and small screen. Join in at 4:45 for a 5 p.m. start. And as we heard from Rabbi Lazaro, after a challenging year, Year 12 students finished today, an emotional day for students and parents. We wish the students good luck for their final exams. On a happier note, Mazel Tov to the KDS Hanhaga, the leadership for 2021. At a special fair welcome assembly on Wednesday, the new leadership team was announced, and TBI congratulates Seb, Liad, Tegan, Erin, Abby, Louis, and Jacob. And yes, I am thrilled for them all and their parents. You'll find a list of our offerings in the Rabbi's weekly email and on our website. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We're going to have you, Joanne, replaced by Kantal Lou on the bimah as we offer now Kiddush and Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'vrato ninchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Chaim Tovim.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen. Shabbat Shalom and Betavon. May this Shabbat be a Shabbat of blessing.
Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov again to those celebrating this weekend. Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שבת אחים גם יחד.